Hi all, this is Jeanette Keynes from Jewelry Arts Inc., also known as Dr. Goldsmith. This is part one of my video on how to solder a stack ring. I show you all my tips and techniques for getting a beautiful outcome.
So we're getting ready to solder this lovely little stack ring together. So I thought I would stop before it's 100% all set up so that I could go through all the stages. And I was just saying to Rachel, and I say this all the time, so no doubt it's very boring, the soldering itself will probably take 15 seconds. It's the setup. It's getting everything in the right spot. So I always tell people, like, stop rushing to solder. You know what I mean? Get everything laid out. So what we've done now, stack rings, I'll show a picture at the end of a stack ring. So these are what we call stack rings. It's really just a pretty simple ring shank. For us, we normally do round. And then the bezel just sits directly on top of the ring shank. And they're really just meant to be worn in a cluster together. But basically, for us, normally it's a relatively simple shank, and then the bezel is just right on top, because the goal of stack rings is just to wear a whole fuck ton of them. You know what I mean? You just like stack them all together. And it's like a relatively simple ring, and it's made to just really highlight the stone. And because you can wear a bunch of them together, it's great for doing like different combinations, and you could always make more and then wear a different thing. I mean, it's just, too much is never enough is an important part of my philosophy. So I've done some things, like, first of all, again, to get something straight, you have to have something straight to look at. You don't have a rat's chance in hell of getting things straight if you don't have something straight to look at. So I just took my ruler, I'll let Amy get in here a little closer so she can kind of like see the setup. You see, I just drew, little crosshairs right on my solderite board. I really like the solderite board for this because it stays nice and level. I can't tell you how many times I see people struggling with soldering because they're working on a surface that looks like the surface of the moon. Again, you don't have a rat's chance of getting a jump ring or anything on there level and straight and whatever if you don't have a flat surface to work on. So that's why for me, the solderite board, that's like my jam. I use that good 97% of the time, you know what I mean, for things, because it's nice and flat. So also, when you make stack rings, you don't always put the shank in the center of the bezel, because a lot of times you want them to kind of snuggle over and combine. Do you know what I'm saying? So usually what you do, I mean, I'm not saying like you cannot put it dead center. You can, but usually what we do is we put it just a hair over to the side, because that's what I did with this bezel, is I kind of laid it in the crosshairs, like this is where I want it. And you notice though, where the solder is not the center. It's a little bit above center. Okay. I also then, we have our cute little shank. And just so you know, like for me, Jeanette's Law, 14 gauge is the thinnest that I do ring shanks. Any thinner than that, I feel like they just kind of get distorted. You can obviously do whatever floats your boat, but for me, and stack rings, usually that's what we use is for us, the harder alloy. This is 21 karat. It's just alloyed with a little extra copper, so it's a little tougher. If you were working in silver, you'd be using sterling or just something, you wouldn't want to use like 22 karat gold or fine silver for a ring shank, because it just tends to get beat up. Again, like, can you? Yes, but it doesn't hold up super well. So what I did, another thing, very important, this is the OCD lecture, by the way, on this is how you lay it all out so that everything looks good. If you notice right here, I'll let Amy get in a little close. I just drew a little Sharpie mark right where the seam is. Because, of course, when we first made this ring, we soldered it shut and rounded it out and cleaned up the seam. Now, if you've done all that relatively successfully, it shouldn't be so easy to see where the seam is. And I'm not saying it's invisible, but when I set this up on here, what are the odds I'm going to pick it up once and put it in place and that's going to be in the right spot? I mean, 0% chance, right? Because what happens is you're fooling around, you're fooling around, you're fooling around. And the seam, if you don't have an easy way to see where the seam is, it moves. And then your seam ends up over here or something like that. And when you are soldering on a ring shank, there's like two places to put your original seam. Either right here, at the, right against what you're going to solder, where it'll be hidden, okay, right here, or at the absolute end, the bottom. I mean, it's upside down right now, but you see what I mean? Because usually wherever the seam is, you sand it, you file it, it's a little thinner than the rest of it. It may not be super noticeable, but it's one of those things, if you get it just somewhere like off to the side, Right now, you won't notice it. When you're wearing it, you'll be like, you know how that goes, right? So either at the very bottom or the very top. So that's why it's just easier. Put that little dot there. You will not be able to forget where the seam is. You'll make sure everything stays aligned, and again, like with everything else, I'm always like, ask me how I know you should do that. Because, things are so much more noticeable later. You're doing it. You're like, I don't see anything. And then later you're like, I see that from across the room. And then you're bummed. OCD, it's fun for you and me. So then the next thing I did is I cut a pretty sizable, in my opinion, a piece of solder. Because for this, what I would love to do is put that together and solder it once, throw it in the pickle, and move on with my life. I would rather that than add multiple pieces if possible. So can I set this up on here and put a little ball next to it? Absolutely I can. And I do that, lots of the time. But if I do this, zero cleanup, like 0, 0, 0, no cleanup. So you notice I put my little shape matching the shape of the ring. In other words, you wouldn't want to put your piece of solder like this straight up and down and then put your piece, your what do you call it there? Put your shank across it, because then you'd see some of the solder sticking out on both sides. I wanted to just follow, and I'll show you when I set it up, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like I said, there is no detail too small for me to fixate on. It just gives you a cleaner look. So I'm going to move that there. I'm going to move this back in position and look at it from the top. Pardon me. There you go. Okay, that looks good. So then the next OCD thing I did is I took my ring shank and I set it up in the third arm. The third arm is as far away from where I'm going to heat as possible. Because in other words, if you take the third arm and set it up low on here, right near where you're going to solder, the steel absorbs a lot of the heat. And it actually can cause issues. So normally what you're always trying to do is get it as far away as possible for where you're going to be soldering. And then I looked at it from the side. When you set everything up from the front, it looks beautiful. It looks level. It looks straight. You look at it from the side, your ring is at like a fucking 45-degree angle. And you're like, how did this happen? So always know when you're setting up a ring, you have to get up. So I did that already, but I'm going to show you. I mean, literally, I get up, you know what I mean? And I look, you know what I mean, from the side right there. And if you look at it like that and you look from the side, like it's nice and straight. Now I'm going to pick it up and put it in place, which, Rachel's giggling. Yeah. That's why I'm so fussy about the small steps. It's to try to make it as fast and easy as possible. Believe it or not, it's not to make it more labor intensive. It's to make it less labor intensive. So this is all straight and beautiful. If I pick this up like this, lovingly, and put it down like this, there is every chance that that might actually be in the right spot. Shift it just to the side, a tiny bit. Okay, now I'm going to look from the side. I'm going to look from the top. We're all going to circle it like a satellite, and then we'll come back to you for the soldering. Unless you want to watch us all circle the piece, which I think you probably don't.